Germany is the cradle of the first reliable gasoline engine, a piece of technology that gave rise to automaking and allowed humanity to reshape the planet in its entirety. To commemorate the input of car manufacturers from this country, we would like to revisit their most iconic models and review those restoration projects that attempt to elevate the legends to the new levels of performance without sacrificing the classic looks. To enjoy this video, you do not have to be a fan of Porsche, BMW or Mercedes. Simply take in the true spirit of car making. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to Automotive Territory and support our channel with a like. Enjoy the ride! Mercedes-Benz 300 SL by BRABUS Classic. Regarded by some automotive experts as the sports car of the century, the 300 SL was the first four-stroke street-legal auto with mechanical direct fuel injection system. As a part of the BRABUS Classics, the German tuner revitalizes the icon in all of its iterations by bringing the transmission, drive shaft, suspension, brakes, and every wire to new condition. With utmost care to factory specifications, they wrap the seats into original fabric pattern and use exquisite leathers on door panels. Under the long aluminum hood, you will find the powerful 3.0-liter straight-six engine mated to a 4-speed manual transmission. Finally, besides introducing a groundbreaking fuel injection system, the 300 SL became the first model to feature the top-hinged upswinging doors, well ahead of the Model X launch and even before Elon Musk was born. Gunther Works 400R. Automotive purists are adamant in their belief that the last true 911 Porsche was manufactured until 1998 under the 983 designation. Who am I to argue with this claim? So let's take a look at the remarkable reinvention of this model performed by the California-based Gunther Works. They're utilizing nearly 2 decades of experience in manufacturing carbon composites for sports and luxury vehicles to build a 25 units limited run of the GW400R Coupe. The Donor 983 is equipped with a reinforced carbon fiber body with widened front wheel arches and LED lighting. The interior is trimmed with leather and suede, plus the rear seat was replaced for additional storage within the cabin. The Oregon company Rothsport tuned the Porsche's 6-cylinder engine to have 4.0-liter displacement that resulted in horsepower and torque boost to 431 HP and 313 pound-feet. BMW 530 MLE. Restored in its prime condition, this four-door belongs to the first generation of the BMW 5 Series. The car was developed by BMW South Africa, and to qualify for competing in the modified production series race, the MLE was released as a limited edition model for the South African market. In total, 217 units of the car were produced, all boasting a factory-tweaked 3-liter 6-cylinder engine with 200 horses and 204 pound-feet. These figures resulted in 129 mph max speed and 0 to 60 acceleration of 9.3 seconds. Eventually, the 530 MLE earned 15 consecutive wins and 3 champions titles that made it the most successful car in the racing history of the 5 Series. Chisel Speedster. Today, the 911 might be the world's renowned icon representing what the brand is all about, but it was Porsche's first ever production model, the 356, that gave the start to the cult around the nimble, rear-engine sports cars. The Chisel Motor Company, currently owned by Westfield Sports Cars, manufactures detailed replicas of the original 1957 Roadster, but they're using modern materials to avoid corrosion, improve safety and comfort parameters of the model. The Chisel Speedster is sold as a kit or a factory-built unit, powered by a selection of 3 twin-port Type 1 4-cylinder engines borrowed from the VW Beetle. The displacement and power output of these are as follows: 1.6, 1.8, and 2.0 liter, making 70, 90, and 120 horsepower. Additionally, you can get an e-Speedster from Chisel with Hyper 9 electric motor, Tesla batteries, and equivalent to 120 HP with a 200-mile range. Opel GT. The original GT premiered as the brand styling exercise for the 1965 Paris and Frankfurt auto shows. But thanks to the raving reception by the public, by 1968 it evolved into a production model. The two-door was sold as a more affordable alternative to Chevrolet Corvette, but it had a front mid-engine layout. Due to its fastback profile, the car did not offer a conventional trunk and featured a small parcel shelf instead. Another one-of-a-kind characteristic of the GT was its mechanical pop-up headlights that rotated counterclockwise. Two mills were on offer, a 1.1-liter four-cylinder with 67 HP or a 1.9-liter with 102. In 2018, to celebrate the model's 50th anniversary, Opel brought 75 GTs for a grand tour, starting from the Hockenheimring. All the cars were restored to pristine condition, while the selection included the first as well as the last unit that rolled out of the assembly line. Porsche 956. If we were to recall a German race car that absolutely dominated its contemporaries back in the day, this model will be the one. The sports prototype designed by Norbert Singer in 1982 became the first Porsche model to compete within the newly established Group C category. Its engine was a turbocharged flat-six mated to a traditional 5-speed manual to produce approximately 635 horsepower. The 956 was the first Porsche to have ground effect aerodynamics downforce. In theory, it could drive upside down at the speeds of 200 miles per hour. The most stunning performance demonstrated by this race car was displayed at the 1983 24 Hours of Le Mans, when the car took 9 out of 10 top spots in its class. Plus, the record set the same year by the legendary Stefan Bellof at Nürburgring would stand for 35 years until 2018. There won't be a better time to rate this video with a like, so smash the thumbs up button as hard as you can. Let's get back to amazing German classics. Mercedes 280 SE 3.5 Cabriolet. 50 years ago, the then Mercedes-Benz luxury icon, based on the W111 chassis, debuted as the two-door cabriolet. It was the first post-war Mercedes which had more than 3 liters under the hood. Only 1,200 units of the model were built, so today the 280 SE 3.5 Cabrio is a rather rare find. However, with BRABUS help, it can be made even rarer. The German tuner offers its signature 6-star ground-up restoration for the model. It means that the cabriolet remains original and comes with a moss green metallic paint and a dark green soft top. Inside, you will find black leather upholstery, wood panels, BEHR air conditioning system, and electric window lever. As befits a 6-star restoration, all cabin colors are matched according to the Mercedes-Benz data card. The restored 3.5-liter 8-cylinder does not get any power upgrades, so it still produces 200 horsepower and 124 mph top speed. BMW M1 Pro Car. The 1979 M1 was the first mass-production mid-engine car from the Bavarian brand, as well as the first automobile developed solely by BMW M Performance division. It was aimed to compete in Group 4 of the World Sports Car Championship, but due to several development delays and slow sales of its road version, the M1 did not manage to qualify on time for the 1979 season. This prompted Johann Neerbosch, who was the then head of the BMW Motorsport, to devise the company's own championship that tested professional drivers from around the world and featured just one car, a specially modified BMW M1. It had a completely new anti-roll bar suspension, revised bodywork with a nose spoiler, and extended wheel arches, and most importantly, a boosted version of the stock 3.5-liter straight-six mill that was fired up from 277 to 470 horsepower. Porsche 911 by Singer. If the previously mentioned 993 is the last true Porsche 911, then its predecessor 964 is the undisputed golden standard of this model. In turn, when it comes to its restorations, Rob Dickinson's Singer vehicle design projects have no rivals by a long shot. The company reimagines both coupe and Targa modifications by replacing the bodywork with carbon fiber panels, installing Brembo brakes and all-in suspension, while the engine is tuned by specialists from Cosworth at Pink Racing Engines and Williams. Customers are offered 3 flat 6mm options, 300 and 350 HP 3.8-liter, and the range-topping 390 horsepower 4-liter, which offers extreme 3.3 seconds 0 to 60 acceleration. Interiors by Singer recall the golden era of early 1960s car decor with low-backed recar seats. The cabin finishes are all leather, and gauges keep the classic design. VW Der E-Koffer. While Volkswagen is seriously exploring the possibility of reinventing the recently discontinued Beetle as a new generation EV, for now, they've decided to convert the iconic 1970s model in partnership with the German restoration specialist E-Classics. The electric components were borrowed from the latest generation E-Up, so we're looking at an 82 horsepower convertible with a 14-module battery, which adds up to 36.8 kWh capacity and 125 miles range. Since compared to the donor model, the E-Koffer packs 50% more performance, its chassis as well as the brakes had to be reinforced. After all, the EV flies to 16 mph in under 10 seconds and tops at 94. As standard, the bug is built on the basis of the 1303 Super Beetle, but customers can also opt for a slightly older 1302 Cabrio. BMW 1600 GT Convertible. The modern 2 Series 2-door sports car should be not confused with the BMW 02 Series, produced between 1966 and 1977 as a smaller and more affordable version of the new class sedan. This model was recently restored by the vocational training team and joined the BMW Group Classic Collection. It is the only surviving example of the 2 prototypes that BMW commissioned from the Italian bodywork designer Pietro Frua. The second one was destroyed during a test drive shortly after its completion. The 1600 GT Convertible is fitted with a 2-liter 4-cylinder that makes 105 horsepower. Since many of the components for this restoration were not available, for several years they were painstakingly manufactured from scratch. Your input cannot be overestimated, so do not hesitate to leave your suggestions of the iconic German models in the comments below, and mention your personal favorites from the presented lineup. Subscribe to Automotive Territory not to miss the upcoming videos about classic cars from other nations. Smash the like button, and as always, may the torque be with you!